Now, the property industry is one of the industries in South Africa that is being impacted by the high unemployment rate in South Africa, because you would have to remember that the more people lose their jobs, or the more we see high numbers of unemployment rate, is the less we will see people going out there to buy properties. Meaning that high unemployment rate has got a very huge impact on the property market, because like I said, if people are not employed, or if many people are losing jobs, then it means that the demand of people going to buy properties for themselves or their families is going to decline. And as I've said, this is one of the things that you need to think of when you are investing or when you are buying shares or stocks in this property market. Now, it's not only the unemployment rate or people being unemployed which also affects these properties, but even the businesses, or when you go to the business side of things, you will notice that there are so many companies, so many shops that have closed due to the pandemic. There are so many businesses that have closed down. This is another thing that is yet again putting more burden onto this property industry, which is why I personally think that even if there will be growth, or even if there is going to be growth, a lot of these property companies or these property stocks are not going to grow by much, because like I said, there are so many things that are impacting this property industry. And whilst I talk of the less demand of this property, I remember when I bought this property last year around August, there were other properties next to this one which were also kind of like empty, and some of those properties are still empty as it stands. So it's been over 12 months and those properties are still empty. That just justifies the point that I was telling you, to say that the demand of people wanting to buy properties is sort of like going down, which is something that I think that for some time, and until we get to that point where even things like your unemployment rate in South Africa drops dramatically, then this thing of properties or this property market will continue to have sort of like a strain that will make it not to grow the way it should. Otherwise, with all that, you'll know that on this channel we talk a lot, or we've spoken a lot about Balwin Properties. Now, Balwin Properties, the reason why I think it grabbed our attention, or grabbed my attention on this channel, it was of their big project in Mooikloof, where they will be developing a new sort of like city in Pretoria. That's one of the things that really caught my attention, because I knew that with that sort of like investment, they will be able to generate some good revenue. Another thing that really caught my attention and made me want to invest into Balwin Properties is it was when I saw that they've got a property with a crystal lagoon. I mean, those of you who've been in Pretoria, I mean, you know already one of their properties which has this crystal lagoon in it, which is so amazing, and it's making people to go in there. And yeah, I know the bad thing about that property is that now they are saying that to the people that don't stay in the property, they will be paying around 250 to access the lagoon, which I think it might be high according to me. But yeah, I don't know what the final verdict was regarding that, but I know a lot of residents that stay in that property, they were complaining to say that they can't let their visitors pay to go to the lagoon. But you will know, of course, that Balwin Properties is also building the second property or development with this crystal lagoon in Munyaka next to Midrand, which is something that is incredible. So those are some of the reasons that had initially attracted me to invest into this company. And of course, another important thing that made me to invest was because I saw that they were doing well sort of like financially. But now, due to the issues that I just told you at the beginning of this video, of things like unemployment rate, things like businesses shutting down and all those things are some of the things that I believe are going to impact this property industry for some time. Because like I said, the more people are unemployed, it just simply means that few people will be buying properties. Now, otherwise, on today's video, guys, will be looking into Balwin Properties and determining if this company is still a good investment or not. And this is, of course, after so many of you have been asking me videos, is Balwin Properties still a good company to own? Is Balwin Properties still a good? Why is the share price going down? And I think that the one of the reason why the share price is going down is, number one, the demand of people buying these properties is going down. I think that for this industry to do well, we need to have the unemployment rate decreasing, because that will be a good sign to say that more people are being employed, which might result in more people going and buy these properties. And again, this is just my opinion. I know some of you out there might be having other opinions regarding or relating to this industry, but I personally believe that it's an industry that will not grow the way it should in the coming years due to this. Otherwise, regardless of that, Balwin Properties indicated that for the 6-month interim financial, for the period which ended in August of 2021, they are expecting to report an earnings per share and had earnings per share of between 40 to 45%, which is something that is incredible, because this just means that this company is becoming more profitable. They reported 40, or they are expecting to report 40 to 45% more earnings per share figure than they reported last year, which is something that is incredible, because you remember that last year this company had reported a HEPS, or a headline earnings per share, of around 17.33 cents, and now they expect to report an EPS of between 24 to 25 cents per share, which is something that is incredible, and has to show you that this company is becoming more and more profitable. I mean, this is a pure 40 to 45% increase when comparing to the HEPS, or headline earnings per share, they reported last year around the same time. Now, these results are set to be released on the 20th of October 2021, which is this coming week. Now, those results, it means that Balwin expects to report way better results than the one they had reported last year around the same time. Now, for the period which ended in August of 2021, Balwin Properties indicated that they sold a total of 1,260 apartments, which is something that is incredible, and is the one that is going to boost also this EPS, or their EPS, to rise by over 40 to 45%. One thing that makes me want to believe that this industry, or this market, won't be doing that well is the fact that the unemployment rate is going higher in South Africa, meaning that there are not going to be many people, or there are not going to be many people that are employed, and the less people you have that are employed, it means that is the less people you will have to go and buy these properties, which is something that you should have at the back of your mind, and which is the main reason that makes me want to strongly believe that we will see a slow growth in terms of these property companies, or these property stocks doing well in the future. Guys, I think I need to be open to you to say that majority of the shares that I owned in Balwin, I sold them, I think some time back, and this was mainly due to the fact that I saw some better opportunities elsewhere in other companies. Yes, I had this at the back of my mind to say that, but this industry is one of the industries that will take time to recover, due to the fact that many people are losing jobs, and it means that less people will be going out there and buy properties. And one of the things that made me to seriously sell this company, it was when I saw, even here when I bought this property, there was another property, or there is a property next to me which has been empty ever since I bought this property here, which is a good sign that confirmed what I'm telling you, to say that it's not many people now that we are seeing going and buy these properties, which is why I tend to believe that this market is one of those that, yeah, it will take some time to recover. We are still going to experience some slow growth onto this industry. So yes, guys, the reason why I sold majority of my Balwin property shares is simply because of these reasons that I just gave you. I'm thinking that this is one of the industries that will experience a slow growth in the near term, which is something that I believe that there are better opportunities that can be found in other companies that some I've already discussed with you on the channel. I believe that to me, the stock market, or buying shares to me means that investing in areas or in companies which can generate you good returns in the future. I mean, if, like for instance, with Balwin, I saw that maybe in the next coming 3 years, the best that the share price could go up by it's 40%, and there is another company that in the next coming 3 years it can double or it can give me 200% or more, then I personally believe that then it's good that I take my money to that company that can give me 200+% in the next coming 3 years, rather than just putting a bunch of money in a company that can give you 40% or 30% in a period of 3 years. So this is another reason that made me reevaluate my holdings on Balwin Properties, and I ended up selling a majority of my shares in Balwin and go and buy shares elsewhere in companies that can generate me some good returns in the future. So I guess then I've answered those of you that have been asking me what are my thoughts on Balwin Properties. And I'm not saying sell your Balwin Properties stock or shares, but all I'm saying is that you need to think of the demand that that this industry can experience in the years to come. Then if you think that you are comfortable with that, then I think you need to still stay with Balwin Properties. And plus, they also pay some good dividends. So I personally believe that Balwin Properties, probably in the long term, it is a good company because, like I said, they are unique from the other property companies, and things like your crystal lagoons are the ones that are attracting people to come and buy their properties. But as I'm saying, in a nutshell or overall, this property market, I believe that it is going to experience some slow growth in the upcoming years. Otherwise, guys, before you sell those shares or before you buy more, please go and do your own due diligence, because like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not a professional financial advisor. These are just my opinions, but this is my current view on Balwin Properties and the property market as a whole. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I make tons and tons of stock market investing videos, and if you think that this video was amazing, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you are new, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that YouTube can notify you every time I release a video. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.